Greetings YouTube and welcome back to another vlog, and hopefully this time the video will work, because the last couple of times I tried doing it the computer decided that it wanted to lag and be a hellhole. But hopefully this time it has worked, and if it hasn't worked then I'm going to give the computer a few words. I won't repeat some of them, but I think you can imagine what they would be. So anyway, let's get on with the video, depending if it works. So yeah, I'm going to start off with some sad news, unfortunately. One of the former Maniacs of Noise members, Johannes Bjerregaard, has sadly passed away at the age of 52 after a long battle of cancer. I know 99.9% of you have probably never heard of him, unless you've heard some of his music in a couple of his games that he did for the Commodore 64. Yeah, he did quite a few game tunes in games such as Flimbo's Quest, Special Agent and Stormlord. For those who've never played a Commodore 64, probably may have never heard of those games, but you know what? The music he did in them was absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I'd say I only just heard the news yesterday because someone, one of my mates, Chris Panther UK, he uploaded a video of one of his tunes from the game Special Agent, which I just mentioned. Yeah, and he put a nice tribute to him as well, so yeah. So 52 years old isn't, to be honest with you, that is not an age at all. It's just, I mean, when you hear news like that, I mean, it's sad, but unfortunately, as I say, that's life. It is life. Life goes on, but yeah, his music will not be forgotten. And for those who know, I've uploaded plenty of videos involving some of my favourite tunes on the Commodore 64, because I've done a series called Great C64 Hits. Oh, well, no, Great C64 Music, sorry. I'm presenting it like as if it's like the UK Top 40 or an episode of Top of the Pops, where it's like, number 5 is Monty on the Run by Rob Hubbard. Number 4, Street Hawk by Martin Galway. I mean, I'm just making it up, but you get the idea. But yeah, all the other members of the Maniacs of Noise, I can imagine, would be absolutely devastated, such as Jaron Tell and Charles Deenan. I mean, there's a few other members of the Maniacs of Noise, like Ryan O'Hound. If I'm pronouncing his name correctly, I've most likely butchered that. But anyway, what else shall we talk about today? Because yeah, I'll be here all day talking about how great the Commodore 64 is and its music. But as I say, there are some games that are just awful, yet they have some really good music. And if you're thinking why I look red or anything like that, it's because the camera, the room is quite dark. So yeah, if I put the light on, I honestly think it would just, it would just make things a whole lot worse. And to be honest with you, it's annoying me, so I might have to, I'll be back in just a second, I'll probably just have to adjust it. Another jump cut for me, and I will see you in a second. Sorry about that, I just had to adjust the camera. I don't know why the camera light went all weird then. I had to make a few adjustments. So anyway, next we should be talking about the football. As you know, I always talk about the football in these vlogs. So yeah. So of course I'll talk about my team first, Liverpool, who last night just about held on and managed to beat Tottenham Hotspur 2-1 at White Hart Lane. In the first half, we absolutely destroyed Spurs. We were all over the place. We were all over him. Yeah, Mohamed Salah was, as I say, probably his best performance in a Liverpool shirt so far this season. he absolutely ripped them a new one. And although Darwin Núñez did miss a chance, he helped in the build-up towards the goals for Salah. And Trent Alexander-Arnold, to give him credit, he has actually figured out how to defend. Because let's be honest with you, his defending, or lack of defending this season, hasn't been good at all. It hasn't been good. But to see him actually put in a performance like that, I'm happy. Though I still think there is room for improvement amongst the rest of the squad. Yeah, because in the second half we looked a bit shaky. And when Harry Kane scored, I was absolutely dreading. Because in recent times, Tottenham have had to come from behind just to graft the result. So I actually think the performance against Spurs was good. Though we were rather lucky in the second half. Because, I mean, Spurs hit the post late on. And if they had scored in stoppage time, I probably would have punched something. Yeah. I don't particularly like Spurs. They're not my least favourite team, if I'm being honest with you. Everyone knows my least favourite team is Manchester United. And the others being Everton and Chelsea. So, yeah. The other games, Aston Villa in Unai Emery's first game in charge beat Manchester United 3-1, and it was their first win at home. Yeah, believe it or not, their first win against United, Villa Park, since 1995. And in that game, and on Match of the Day, it was our famous quote from Alan Hansen, where he said, "You can't win anything with kids." And well, he was proven wrong, because United in 95-96 ended up going on to win the league and FA Cup double. So it's a repeat of that. I mean, Villa have beaten United twice in the Premier League at Old Trafford. Last season and in 2009-10. So. But yeah, it was a good impression for Unai Emery. And it was a good evening for him. Or as he says, good evening. Yeah. Manchester United, some of their fans knew a result like this was coming, because in recent games they were lucky to even win games. Even the United channels like United Standard, Mark Goldbridge admits that United were lucky to win some of those games. But they knew a defeat like this was coming. Yeah, it was a good performance. The other games was Newcastle hammering Southampton 4-1 at St Mary's. I was going to say the name of their old stadium, which is the Dell. Yeah, so yeah, Newcastle ran riot against Southampton. And the funny thing is, Eddie Howe said that Newcastle were not playing at their best. Well, imagine it, if that was their worst, imagine what their best would be against Southampton. I really don't know. But of course, that result cost Ralph Hasenhüttl his job. Yeah, he's been in charge of Southampton for nearly 4 years. That's longer than what I was expecting. But yeah, Southampton are in a terrible state, and they could possibly be relegated at the end of the season if things don't improve. Yeah, so Southampton have sacked their manager today. But to be honest with you, the position wouldn't be any different if they had another manager. I don't know. Southampton, they've had a few decent seasons, but last year they just about stayed up. Yeah, they had an absolutely horrific goal difference, and it's not looking good for them. Other results, there was Arsenal versus Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. A pretty boring game, but in the end, Arsenal won the game thanks to a goal by Gabriel. Yeah, it was a pretty boring game. Now I know I've been watching a lot of the football, because to be honest with you, there's jack shit on telly. Yeah, let's be honest with you. I mean, what other games were there? Leeds United, what a game that was against Bournemouth. Yeah, Leeds were losing 3-1, and then he pulled off an incredible comeback. And the youngster who scored against Liverpool at Anfield, Somerville, yeah, he scored the winner. Yeah, and the scenes at Ellen Road were just absolutely insane. Yeah, not a fan of Leeds for obvious reasons, but that was a very good performance. In the second half, yeah, the first half, I mean, yeah, they were awful, but whatever Jesse Marsh said to them, it worked. And 22 years ago, Leeds beat Liverpool 4-3 as well, when Mark Viduka scored all 4 goals. And Liverpool, as well, in that game, they were leading it, and then Leeds dominated that second half and destroyed us. Yeah, November the 4th, 2000. So, yeah, good result for them. Everton got beat 2-0 at home to Leicester City. After the abysmal start they've had, they're now on a resurgence and they're starting to punish teams. Well, for the time being, but yeah, they're doing all right. They're doing all right. Again, I do apologise for my eyes running stupid allergies. Just get rid of allergies, please. Just get rid of them. Anyway, let's get back on track. So Leicester won 2-0. Yeah. 2 of the goals, though the one by Tielemans was an absolute screamer. Dear me. He cannot score normal goals. He can only score bangers. And a player like him should be playing for a bigger and better team, because let's be honest with you, he's too good for Leicester. There's a few players like that, like James Maddison, who should be called up to the England squad, but I don't think he will, because Gareth Southgate keeps picking Raheem Sterling. I mean, Sterling hasn't been great for England at all for the last 2 or 3 years, if I'm being honest with you. The problem that Southgate has is he picks friendly players, he picks people who are nice and friendly, but being friendly does not always get you results. It doesn't. I don't understand why. What other games were there? Yeah, Man City, they had a really, really difficult game against Fulham. Fulham played absolutely fantastic. I mean, City were then down to 10 men. But yeah, Fulham, they played absolutely fantastic. I mean, they ended up losing the game in the end because they gave away a penalty in injury time. So because Erling Haaland, he came back. Yeah, he wasn't well, but he came back and he scored the penalty to beat Fulham. Yeah, I can imagine it was absolutely devastating. But Fulham have played really, really well. And I'm starting to regret saying that I think they'll be relegated. The way they're playing, they could possibly finish in the top half. They could. They're playing absolutely fantastic. There is no ifs or buts about it. They are playing some really good football. I mean, yeah, they held Liverpool to a 2-2 draw at the start of the season, and they could have beaten us. They are doing really, really well. I wrote them off, and I regret them. I regret doing that. I'm not a fan of Fulham, but they're doing well. Whereas Nottingham Forest, they drew 2-2 with Brentford. Though Forest should have won that game because Brentford had a dodgy penalty. Yeah, Nottingham Forest would in that well. Yeah, Nottingham Forest could have won that game, but as I say, Brentford had a dodgy penalty. And yeah, I like their manager Thomas Frank as in the manager of Brentford. I know he's, well, is it Frank Thomas? I don't know, I was getting mixed up. Well, either way, it's one of them. So, yeah, so they beat, well, and he thought that Brentford deserved a penalty, but no, it was a blatant dive. It was not a penalty at all, it was a soft one. He said it was a penalty, yet he couldn't give his explanations as to why. I have no idea. Right, I'm going to have to do another jump cut because I've got something to do. Yeah, you can tell that this vlog is done by a professional. Yeah, a professional, that is me. So, yeah, we were talking about the football. Another game was West Ham versus Crystal Palace. Yeah, then Crystal Palace beat West Ham 2-1 at the Olympic Stadium or London Stadium, whatever you want to call it. Because I'm still trying to get used to it. I still keep calling it Upton Park because that's where West Ham used to play. And to be honest with you, they should never have left there. Yeah, it was a good game. It was a good game for Crystal Palace, not so much for West Ham because I can't remember. I think West Ham took the lead. I can't remember who scored for them. Wilfred Zaha scored the equaliser, and then I can't remember who it was, but some player scored in the 94th minute to deny West Ham a point, which, to be honest with you, they didn't deserve anything because Palace were all over the place. I think there might have been some other football results, but honestly, I can't remember, so I think I'm going to have to move away from that. Because guess what? Yeah, more YouTube drama, and normally I don't care, but guess what's happened? Guess what's happened? And you're thinking, oh yeah, are you going to talk about Top Hat Gaming Man and Lady Decade again? As a matter of fact, partially, only the reason why I'm going to say partially is because another YouTuber who I can only assume is, let's be honest with you, the arse licking them, a YouTuber called DJ Slopes, yeah, DJ Slopes Games Room, or whatever you want to call him, BJ Slops, yeah, let's be honest with you, I'm calling him that, yeah, BJ Slops, yeah, you don't want to know, but anyway, what he has done was, just like Top Hat Gaming Man or Lady Decade or Dickhead, whichever you want to call her, yeah, guess what he's been doing? He's been stealing content off of other YouTubers. I know, and he's saying like, nah, I don't get involved in all this drama. You're doing the exact same thing. Yeah, stealing content off other people. And the person who called him out for it was the person who he stole the content from. Yeah, I know he told him off and saying that, why are you using my content without permission? And guess what? Slops did. Guess what he did? Instead of apologising, he just deleted his bloody comment. I'm like, how immature. Just handle the truth. You deleted the content without permission. So be a wise gentleman. Apologise and give credit to the video. I mean, stealing someone else's work and passing it off as your own is just absolutely... It's scummy. It's scummy. Yeah. Yeah. What's wrong with asking permission? You've got to ask for things. You can't just steal with it. I mean, on YouTube, and in general, respect is something that must be earned. Not something that you must get because you're a big YouTuber or a bigger YouTuber or a bigger person. Yeah, being big means absolutely nothing. The size of it doesn't matter. Though to some people it does. That's what she said. But yeah, who on earth would go around stealing content without the permission of the original creator or whatever? Yeah, that's it. I mean, I know YouTube broadcasts yourself more like YouTube, or no, just call it you steal. Yeah, yeah, broadcasting grifters. I mean, what on earth is going on? I have nothing to say apart from he should take a look at himself in the mirror. Absolutely disgraceful. I mean, when I do my C64 videos, I always credit who the artist is. Like if I like I in the in the info I always credit the name of the the composer, the musician, and say that such and such is composed by Jonathan Dunn, something else is composed by Rob Hubbard. And yeah, I put the year in as well, because that's the year that those games came out on the C64 or whatever system it is, because I also do Amiga music. But yeah, I give credit. Yeah, what's wrong? You always credit the people you're borrowing the content from. The reason why I say borrowing in that term is the way Top Hat Gaming Man does it. The amount of stuff he's stolen is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, the UK gaming community has been absolutely destroyed because of these despicable frog spawn human beings. Saying that it's probably an insult to frog spawn, because frog spawn is probably so much better. So what is happening? So Lady Decade's probably giving DJ Slopes sloppy seconds and Richard's filming it and probably getting involved. So yeah, the grifting threesome. But you never know, there could be a foursome or a fivesome or whatever. Because I don't know, more YouTubers are being disgraced. And yeah, I'm happy that these individuals are being called out. Again, I agree. We shouldn't have to police them. Absolutely not. We have no right. The decision is up to the courts. Yeah, it's up to them. But at the same time, they need the calling out. So it's absolutely despicable. I have no idea why people would steal content of other people without permission. It's just common sense to give credits. Yeah, but they don't. Yeah, I know. Apparently, I think it was. Yeah, speaking of DJ Slopes, yeah. Apparently, I know they did like a YouTube quiz. I can't remember when it was. About 2 or 3 years ago. It was a gaming quiz, and guess what? He knew absolutely fuck all about video games. Yeah. Hardly surprising, is it? Because I know gaming is a huge thing on YouTube, and some people only want to be in the gaming community just to try and sponge off of other people. I mean, if you want money, you can set up an OnlyFans account or whatever. Yeah, set up an OnlyFans and call it. There should be a gaming one called Only Games. So the sad, pathetic white knights will happily pay them money. They'll give him money despite probably being debt or bankrupt, whatever. I don't know anymore. I don't know. YouTube is just a weird place with weird individuals. I know everyone is in their own way is weird. Though some people are beyond it, absolutely, and you start to scratch your head. So I think I will leave the subject at that. So yeah, what else have I been doing? Not an awful lot actually. I've been a bit busier after just like I said. I've just about recovered from my cold. I mean, my eyes still water a little bit, and like I say, I've got a few allergies, but everything is hunky dory. So, and yeah, I think I might leave it here for today. Hopefully, I should upload another vlog sometime in a few days. If not, I may upload something else. I don't know what I'm gonna do this week involving YouTube, but yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the vlog, and I do apologise for the odd jump cut here and there, because as I say, you can't control what happens. If something happens, it happens. If I had it my way, if I controlled the world, then there'd be no such thing as jump cuts. But then again, it wouldn't make for a unique stream. So yeah, I shall see you very soon, and I suggest you all have a good day.